James heads back into the locker room after his first game with the squad in a couple of weeks, right? And he's feeling good. And Andre walks back there and he's like, "Hey, Wise, come with me here for a second." He's following him around a Utah arena. And they end up in this suite. Andre says, "I'll be right back. Hold on. Got something for you." So Wise is sitting there. He's reflecting. He's feeling pretty good. Yeah, another double-double, 18 and 10, minus 21, filling the stat sheet, right? And all of a sudden, he feels this hand on the back of his shoulder, and he looks up, and it's Danny Ainge. And Danny says, "Son, you're exactly what I'm looking for." All right. James Wiseman has been called back to the Warriors here Wednesday, December 7th, as they are in Utah to face the Jazz. The context to this, the speculation to this, is why I've made this video. No Steph Curry, no Draymond Green, no Andrew Wiggins. But Steph has a tweaked ankle, right? Draymond, is it hip soreness? Did I read that correctly? And then Wiggs has an abductor as well. So all minor things for the vets, but they were displeased with the 3 games in 4 nights. And as you look at this stretch of games on the road east, you see they wanted to get them 4 or 5 days off. So it's a smart move, but it also enables a showcase game for James Wiseman and none other than Utah, right? The team that I think one of the few teams around the league where it makes sense for Wiseman, a team that's not necessarily looking to win right now. He can get some minutes, and they have some pieces that I think would interest the Warriors. So obviously hypothetical. We know this, but it's pretty obvious. The 2 guys, Vanderbilt and Kelly Olynyk, right? Vanderbilt, what is he, 22, 23 years old? You saw him with the Wolves. He started for them last year and was, I think what they're figuring out, quite an important part to their chemistry. And as a glue guy and a utility guy, he is an elite rebounder on the offensive glass, a menace, a pogo stick, and then he's a plus defender. He's a guy that you could put on an DeAndre Ayton, an Anthony Davis, a Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, he would need help like most defenders do. I'm not saying he's going to put the clamps on those guys, but he could spend heavier minutes on some of the bigs in the Western Conference. The question is the spacing on the floor with Vanderbilt, with Draymond, who is, he's shooting them. He's doing better with that, right? But he shoots the corner 3, right? He's one of these designated corner guys, albeit it's not that efficient, but you can put him in the corner. He's very efficient in the dunker spot, right? But you'd be getting him for his defense and his rebounding. Kelly Olynyk, I think probably more people are familiar with him. He's bounced around the league, but that's not to say he's one of these guys where he's bounced from team to team because he's good. Some guys, it's like, oh, we're trying to. He's a guy that teams remain interested in because he's so toolsy, and he would essentially be Bielitsa on steroids, right? Dribble, pass, and shoot at the 4-5 spot. He probably knows the Warriors system already, right? He's just a Warriors type of big. Now, defensively is where he leaves something to be desired. But again, you mix and match and you trust that he'd stick within the team concepts defensively and in the system. And he would probably, well, I won't even say he's the prize of the trade because I really like Vanderbilt and I think that we need that defense and rebounding even more. But Olynyk could put some sauce on the offense and make some dynamic lineups for the Warriors as well. So it's 2 guys that you know can help the Warriors and they're bigger bodies, right? Both have playoff experience. And then both guys you want in your foxhole, right? Olynyk kind of has a reputation as being dirty, competitive. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? Or is that a football saying? But Olynyk, much like Draymond, is a guy where I think when he's on your team, you love it, right? But when he's on the opposing team, you're like, oh, I don't like this guy, right? So you want him with you. And then Vanderbilt, again, had that playoff experience with the Wolves last year. Now, the cost. If you look in the trade machine, the salaries of Moses Moody and James Wiseman, it works. It does. You wonder if how hard it would be for Ainge to sell this to Will Hardy, right? And he's got to know this has to be part of the conversation as well as they've started. This is a long-term, they have to take a long view on this, right? He's a first-year head coach, and you imagine he feels safe understanding like, hey, if this is the direction we're going. Now, who's the big kid that they got in the Gobert trade, the big center from, like, was he at Wisconsin? He's playing well. So Wise might get buried behind him, but no, it's really a perfect scenario for James Wiseman where it's like, hey, guaranteed 20 plus minutes a night. We don't have to necessarily win. And there's spacing. And I don't know, are they going to let him shoot the three? You'd imagine they'd let him shoot the three, and they could even play some twin tower lineups. And it would just, on paper, it'd be an ideal fit. You get Moses Moody, who, at a certain point here, look, I've been getting on Moses about his defense and that he's not really helping the Warriors right now. That's not to say Mood isn't going to have a 10-year career. He's going to figure it out. Again, it's this tight window for Steph and the Warriors where the pressure's on these young guys. You heard Draymond talk about it about a week ago, right? It's not that they're never going to figure it out. They ain't going to figure it out in time to help the Warriors right now, right? That's the deal. And even with Wiseman, as hard as I've been on him, I want to say I'm not rooting against this kid, right? It's just my frustration. And y'all know me. I like to talk my shit, right? So I'm going to talk my shit, and I'm frustrated. Part of it also was there's this segment of the fan base that just seemed to be in denial. And so it made me a little more aggressive towards poking fun at Wiseman, just to poke fun at them. Like, y'all really still, you know what I mean? But look, he seems like a really good kid, man. He does. And I think that that's part of the issue contextually right now is I think everybody's rooting for him. Like, everybody wants him to succeed, and it's a delicate situation, right? And so it really could help his career to be moved. Now, all of that said, I'm sure some of you are in the comments already like, this isn't about that. This isn't a showcase. This is Wiseman spent the time in the G League, and now he's ready to be our backup center. Stick with the youth. They're about to go on a run right now. He's going to come out. He's going to give us 20 and 10 tonight in Utah. And it's like, boom, he's back. He's in the mix. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. But again, it seems like I'm rooting for him. It seems like I'm rooting against him. I'm more pushing back to the people that are so dug in on his success, because we got to look at it objectively. And hey, dude, I'll tell you what, it's not about scoring 20 tonight. I'm assuming he's going to get heavy minutes. Maybe if he doesn't, then I don't know what to say. But it's not about him scoring 18 or 20 points. Rebounding and defending and setting screens. If he has a 10, 12 rebound game tonight, rebounds that he goes and gets, not ones that fall off the front of the rim off a missed free throw, rebounds that he battles for, right? Set some big, legitimate, wide screens, right? And shows some rim protection, I'll be back here tomorrow excited and being like, hey, man, maybe, I don't know what happened in the G League. It didn't look like that down there, but I don't know if something clicked or what. But hey, maybe they got to, right? I got to call it as I see it as it happens. But again, I think that this looks to be a showcase of James Wiseman tonight in Utah in front of Danny Ainge and one of the teams where the possible trade could happen here in the next few weeks. And so the James Wiseman showcase game, it may not be a win for the Warriors in the standings, but it may be a win big picture as far as getting better in the near future. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.